So, packaging that will fly off the shelf. Product packaging is a growing category waiting for great designers to enter and build their portfolio. But this demanding design area requires more than a good eye. So let's see what makes and breaks good packaging design. Clarity and simplicity. Next time you go to the supermarket, pick a random shelf and browse through some products. Glance at each one and ask yourself two very simple questions. What is this product for? And what brand is behind it? Oops, I'm sorry. You'll be amazed at how hard it is to find answers to some of these essential questions in less than 4 seconds, which is the maximum time average consumers will dedicate to any particular product on the shelf. You'll find products listing dozens of benefits with no clear brand name. You'll find products that look great on the outside but fail to explain what's in the box. And you might even find cleaning products and packaging that's more appropriate for kids' juice. I think Nikki brought this one to the table with the Fabuloso. Although some product categories allow for a bit of mystery, like perfumes and luxuries, failing to identify the product in terms of content, usage, or brand identity is a horrible practice, which usually results in packaging design which doesn't perform well in stores. So remember rule number 1, be clear about the product and be clear about the brand. Honesty. Beginners in package design often strive to depict the product in the most perfect way imaginable. They'll show a cookie drenched in chocolate when in fact you're buying a simple chocolate flavored biscuit. They'll show rich, fresh cherries on fruit yogurt that usually has very little fruit inside it. By depicting a product 10 times better than it actually is, you're misleading and ultimately disappointing the consumer, which can only lead to poor sales performance and a very bad brand image. This is where honesty comes in. Consumers have nothing against simple, inexpensive products as long as they know what they're buying. Of course, they expect some facelifting to a degree, but not to the point where the product appears to be something entirely different. As a designer, your task is to represent the product in the best way possible, but keep in mind that consumers, even you, deserve to be treated right. Authenticity. Originality, character, and memorability are at the heart of great brands and, of course, great packaging designs. It's easy to understand why. There's hundreds of products out there all competing for consumers' attention. The only way to set your brand apart is to be different or to be authentic. Because this is truly a matter of creativity and exploration, it's impossible to give advice on how to be authentic, especially nowadays when people are faced with myriad brands, looks, and appeals. If you're stuck with a generic-looking packaging design, then apply an uncommon design style with strong visual standards. For example, if everybody's going to buy a product photography or going with product photography, use illustration or type-based design. If everybody's using a horizontal layout, reach vertical. If most designs are contemporary, try introducing something retro and focus on quality and appeal. Be bold, be different, and look into other product categories for unexpected sources of inspiration. Wine label designs can be a great way to brainstorm ideas for a new chocolate package, for instance. On shelf impact. From a shopper's point of view, a product is never seen alone and never in great detail. Because of the viewing distance from shelves and the fact that products are arranged in rows and columns, all we see are variable patterns made of various products. It's not until a certain pattern attracts our attention that we decide to take a closer look. This distinctiveness and appeal of the product when placed on an actual shelf is something retailers call shelf impact, and it makes a huge difference in product sales. Shelf impact is something you need to test and explore in your designs. You can do this by simply imitating the placement of your designs on an actual shelf and surrounded by other products. For best results, use several rows and columns of each product. The more distinctive it looks, the better it sells. You can also simulate color blocking as seen in this image. So try to track what colors or shapes your eye go to first, or send the image to a few of your friends and get their feedback. See if there's a consistent theme. You'll be amazed at the results. Sometimes the best looking design will simply blend in and become invisible, while more simple designs pop in this type of environment. Extendability. A product packaging design concept should allow for an easy introduction of a new line extension or product variation of a sub-brand. For example, imagine you're creating a packaging for a new brand of apple juice and your client opts for a certain design feature, apples, which looks really great. However, a few months later, the client decides to launch a cherry flavor under the same brand name. To your dismay, you understand that the initial design concept you created heavily relies on apples to work and that cherries will not look nearly as good. Plus, cherries have benefits to be communicated on the front panel, which works against your idea, so you have a problem with extendability. To avoid this, you should always design product packaging with the future in mind. This means creating a visually systematic design which allows easy changes of product, visual or other information, so you get a fine-looking family of products in the end. Practicality. Practicality deals with the actual shape, size, and functionality of the product container and not just the label or wrap. The more practical the product, the more sales it gets. When Heinz turned the ketchup bottle upside down, their sales skyrocketed. Practicality is the most overlooked aspect in packaging design, simply because clients often pick tried and true route, which is a lost opportunity for innovation. But if you get lucky and do get a chance to design the next bottle or box or cup, always think about practicality first, or in most cases, how you can make the product easier to use, carry, or store. Practicality alone can solve many of the packaging design challenges. Packaging is the last message a consumer sees and the last chance to convince him to buy the product. Clarity, honesty, authenticity, and other rules play an important part in this process, but are no means the final word on the subject. Okay.